So if you've been watching my channel at all recently, you know I've been trying to kind of branch out into other anime and stuff that I really enjoy, or at least really want to enjoy sometime in the future. And this is a discussion topic that I covered pretty much at the very beginning of the time I started doing YouTube, and I thought I would just expand upon it a little bit more, especially with two series that I feel completely different emotions about and get everyone's thoughts and opinions about them. So let's just jump right into it. Okay guys, you saw the title, you saw the thumbnail, and hopefully you've seen my other videos on this topic, but today we're going to be talking about Bleach and Naruto, two of the big three back in the early 2000s. And as I've already talked about on this channel several times, I very much like Bleach, while I don't have the biggest of fondness when it comes to Naruto. I feel like a lot of this, and I know a lot of people might disagree with me, but a lot of this is because of how the anime is set up. Yes, Naruto has a lot of interesting concepts built in around it, but at least when you look at it from my perspective as somebody who came into it when they were already kind of a fully grown adult, it felt like it was moving at a snail's pace when Bleach seemed to be ramping up pretty quickly from the moment that it starts all the way into the Soul Society and then everything to doing with the Arancars. For me, with everything that I saw with Naruto, felt like a third of every single episode was just trying to rehash the episode that came before it, and I didn't get as invested in that series as I did with a lot of other anime. That brings me to the topic today. I feel like both of these series could greatly benefit from a Dragon Ball Kai type of re-release sometime in the near future. Maybe a re-release that not only edits out a lot of the filler, not just the filler episodes, but the filler parts of every single episode, adhering more to the manga that they're based on, but also cutting out filler episodes. Both Bleach and Naruto are ripe with just absolute dreadful filler episodes that take up nearly a third or more of their entire series run. And I feel like this is one of the reasons that people have hated, or at least don't look back on these series with the fondness that they once had when they first watched it as children, or when they first watched it as adults, really whenever you watched it. Because when you go back and you watch the Bound arc, or just any in general filler arc from Naruto, you realize that this isn't as good as the mainline story, pretty much because the filler arc can't do anything with the mainline story that shakes the status quo beyond what's happening in the manga. Even though the manga, when the anime started, was greatly ahead, when both of these mediums are coming out weekly and there's not enough material in every single chapter of a manga to fill a 20 or so minute episode of anime, you're eventually going to get to a point where the anime surpasses the manga, and they have to come up with something completely different, or they have to get in front of it like Dragon Ball Super did. And I've talked about that with Dragon Ball Super on this channel from time to time. While I do still feel like it's an interesting exercise, I would say that maybe it would be better for the future of Dragon Ball Super to have the manga stay above the anime, just to have that template for what they're going to do and what the story is going to be about. Even if it's a little bit different, it would still better the story in that regard, because there would be something to indicate what's popular and what's not popular by the time you get to that series. Maybe Dragon Ball Super has fillers sometime down the line when it comes back, but it would still have the manga in order to tell it where to go in the future. And I feel like that's incredibly important. One of the reasons why Bleach and Naruto both suffer from the filler aspects of their anime. I'm not going to talk about in this video One Piece, because frankly I have not seen enough of One Piece, and as much as I know about the anime, it's kind of on point with what's going on in the manga, but they're just slowing everything down to just the nth degree in order not to do as much filler as possible, and that way fans are still very happy about it where it is, not only with the manga but the anime. But at the same time, it's kind of a slog to read, and that's why a lot of people, at least who talk to me, say you need to read the manga and not watch the anime because it's a quicker experience. Getting back to Naruto and Bleach, though, with a Kai type re-release, I feel like this can be a very unique and interesting perspective and a reintroduction to these once incredibly big series. Not to say that Bleach and Naruto aren't still big in their own right, but back when they were at their peak of popularity, that seems to be at the time when everyone was still talking about them, and a lot of it wasn't just hush hush, this used to be better. I feel like this is more of a thing from my childhood that I'm still excited about, and I don't watch Boruto anymore, or I'm still kind of waiting, or I've given up completely on the Bleach anime coming back. I feel like having a whittled down version of the animes for both of these series would allow new fans to rediscover or be introduced to these iconic characters and be able to watch them in a more linear and quicker fashion that would be more akin to what audiences of today are willing to watch. Even just younger children would be willing to watch something that's a little bit more streamlined, because without the need for filler, with knowing where the story is going and being able to go back and cut down every single episode of both of these series, you would be able to put it out there for people who have no idea what Bleach or Naruto are about, but are able to understand the story and see how it progresses in a much more linear fashion that comes out every single week, something that wouldn't cost either of the studios that much money in general, but would also bring in a lot of money from people who are not only nostalgic or huge fans of both of these series, but bringing in new and original fans as well. And it could even bring up the popularity just enough to get us that reintroduction of Bleach's anime by the time they get to the end of the Bleach anime and they have time and maybe more indication of just how popular this series is to give us new and original content. Plus, I feel like this would be an interesting way to build up the popularity for Boruto and to help people experience the broader world of Naruto as well. So I'm just going to throw that out there. What are your guys' thoughts on this? I personally really like this idea just because, as I've said on this channel before, I love Bleach. I desperately want to get into Naruto, but right now, when it comes to manga, when it comes to anime, it's too long, it's too many chapters, it's too many episodes, and for me, 70 or so episodes that I watch of Naruto, it just feels like kind of a slog, because I feel like I have to skip the first third of every single episode, and when I sit there and watch it, I'm such a completist that I feel like I'm just wasting my time doing it, and that's one of my biggest gripes about it. Of course, I have said on this channel, and I'm going to be doing it sometime soon, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to try to read the manga as it was originally meant to be, and I feel like that's going to make my understanding of the series and hopefully love of the series grow in a major way. But I really do feel like giving a Kai-like re-edit that they did with Dragon Ball Z with Naruto and Bleach would help these series grow and help build not only the nostalgia from old fans, but also reintroduce new audiences to these amazing pieces of work. So what are your thoughts on this, guys? Tell me in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell over by the subscriber button to notify you every single time I upload. It's been real.